Hey guys, Josh Spoon, The Producer's Kitchen. If you haven't checked any of the previous videos, I'm going through a couple of production tips that have been shared on the Twitter account and for the book, Making Sound by Cristofer Odqvist. And he's been nice enough to share an affiliate link with me. So if you like any of these tips and you're interested in the book, even downloading an excerpt, you can click on the link in the description below and you'll be helping out the Producer's Kitchen, helping out Cristofer, and helping yourself out by gaining some knowledge. So without further ado, let's go into one of the tips. So this tip comes out of the book and his Twitter page. Two similar instruments playing the same chords using different voicings or octaves and pan them left and right. It adds width, depth, and detail. So we're going to make that right now in Ableton Live. So in this project, I have two of the tracks that I had from the previous video, cello, violin. I also have a drum beat to kind of show you, help you with the depth, have something in the center a little bit, and we'll see that in a second. We're going to be using chord, which is a little bit different from pitch. It's going to add notes, not replace notes. And we're also going to be using scale. And what else are we going to use? We're also going to be using the routing trick that we did in the last video, being able to send MIDI from one track to another. Okay, so let's open up the browser here, close this up a little bit, and we're gonna go to the MIDI effects. So in the last video, I used the word MIDI device, audio device. They're interchangeable with MIDI effect, audio effect. Ableton calls them anything that lives inside of Ableton Live a device, so you can use them interchangeably. So I'm gonna go over here to chord, and I'm gonna drop one in the cello. I'm going to drop one in the violin. I'm also going to go to scale, and I'm going to go to the presets here, and I'm going to go to C major, drop that in, C major, drop that in. And so what we're doing is we're going to take the same kind of chord, but we're going to just change the voicing on each one of these. So the violin's already going to be a little higher pitch already. But one thing we've got to do for sure is set this. We're going to set this to G major. So this C major plugin, as long as you change the bass, can go to any major. So I'll turn that to G, and then we'll turn this one to G as well. So now both of these will be in G major, no matter what notes you play. What we're going to do is actually hot swap this, and I'm going to go for major tom for this one. I'm going to go over to the violin, hot swap. I'm going to do fourth chord, and then I'm going to add 14th on top of that. So what I'm doing is I'm adding a major second to this. So we have a fourth, and then a major second that's an octave higher. This one is just playing major third, fifth, and sixth. So, and the scale will be able to make sure all that fits in G. So the next thing that we'll do, this is already set up, but if you didn't watch the other video, if I want to get the MIDI data from here to here, so where I could just play the cello and the violin will follow, I'll select MIDI from cello. This second drop down is important. So if I do post effects, it's going to include all these two MIDI effects in with the MIDI data that comes into the violin, which you may not want. It may sound cool to be able to add a ton of notes on top of the notes that you're adding here, but I'm going to do pre for now, and what it's going to do is just get the data that's pretty much coming in from my computer keyboard that I'm playing on, and then it'll send it and bypass these two in this one and jump right over. So now I'll just set monitor to in. That way I won't have to arm the track. The MIDI will come through into this track, through the samples, play the correct notes, and then spit out the audio. Cool, so now we just need to pan one left and one right. So these, it seems like there's a kind of a void in my opinion. So obviously when you're going to be playing a song or writing a song, you're going to have other instruments in there. Or you may end up doing this, maybe do this with a viola and another string instrument, and then pan them slightly. So then you have kind of a far depth and then a mid depth, and then maybe something in the center like a timpani or something like that. But I'm not an orchestral person. I'm just using these. I think they're great examples. So I just put drums here. So. So you can see how just doing a simple thing like having this similar notes of a chord but embracing a chord. So essentially what we have is 3rd, 5th, 6th, and then a 4th, and also a major 2nd that's an octave up. So we have something to where the bass note is being played, but then all these notes are being stacked on top of it, which is making it richer. Then we're also panning them to further show the difference between the cello and the violin. So using this tip is very, very useful in any type of production, whether it's orchestral stuff, future bass, what's popular right now, beat step, mathematics. You can use this for any type of production tip. So check out Making Sound. Download it from the link below to be able to help me and Chris out. If you like the Producer's Kitchen, if you like what I'm doing, if you check out the excerpt, you go to his page and like everything there, definitely go to the link below, because if not, I don't get helped out. I'm Josh Boone with the Producer's Kitchen. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to always be creating.